Okay. Okay. So now um, we will just start. I will show you how many types of papers we will be doing today. I will try to teach you 2 to 3 types. Let me show you first what all I have made. This is a paper made with rose paste. Okay. I will show you how to make this. Once it is done, then you can always use it for your craft, like these. If you see, I have made some bookmarks. So then cut it out and make it. For this paper, only paste I have used, nothing else. Okay, no flowers or leaves, nothing like that. So this is one type. I will show you. Don't worry. I'll just show you the different types. This is another type. This is a paper made with coffee. As I've made it freshly in the morning only, so it is still wet, but we will be working on this also. And this is with coffee. You can see green coffee seeds are already there. Green coffee beans. This is not peanut, okay? This is green coffee. Let me show you some. I had to remove it because it was coming out. So this is another type, and then there is one more. This. In this, I have used flowers, dried flowers, leaves, and some green tea and tissue. That's it. This is all you have to do. So let's begin, and I'll show you some old handmade paper also which I had made. Some glitter is also there which you can see. Thanks for joining, Richa. Okay, now just spread a newspaper first, because newspaper is very important. Don't worry about uh, this paper getting stuck to the newspaper, because that is going to come out later on. Fine. So I have divided the paper. If you can see, let me zoom. You can see I have divided with line. I have divided into two parts. So I will show you two patterns, one here and one here. Okay. So how to begin? Now this is my Fevicol mixture. The bottle is of Mod Podge, but it does not have Mod Podge in it. I have added um, normal MR, Fevicol MR, and water inside this, and then just sorry, and then just mixed it together. Okay, so let me show you the consistency. It is this thin. It should be as thin as you can spread it on the paper. Okay, so first I will work on the lower portion because that's easier, and then we will work on the upper portion. So this is one product we need, and the another one is this. If you can see, fresh rose petals, I've made a paste out of it. See, okay. In this, I'm going to add some Fevicol, very little. Yeah, you can see, so that it becomes like a liquid paste. This is how you will work with your natural colors. Just mix it properly. I have not grinded into a very smooth paste because I wanted to see the nice texture of this rose. Okay, so it will, after drying, it will look like this. So we will just spread this on the paper. Spread it in one direction only. Don't try to smoothen it out, because if the rose petals are there, it will look better. Take a thick coat of this. And just spread it nicely. Once it dries, it will look nice. Don't worry about the looks now. Okay. Cover up the full white portion. Once it dries, I'm going to cut it from the center, and two different patterns will be seen. You can use those two patterns. So this paper is done. For this you don't have to do anything, because it already has got Fevicol in that, and even the rose was in a dried form, so we don't have to do anything for this. No tissue is not required, but otherwise you will be needing tissue. After the video, after the live session is over, I will add in the description box what all things are needed for the. If you make a thin layer, it is going to dry faster. That is the only advantage. But I have made so many such type of papers, and all were thin, so I thought this time let me make little thick paste paper. Okay, so this is done, and it looks very messy, but once it dries, it's going to look very pretty. I'll just turn this upside down like this, and now we will work on this. I have got 2-3 things. This time I got these. This is turmeric. I will just give the base of turmeric without adding any Fevicol to it, so that the color of the sheet turns into yellow. That's it, nothing else. This is fresh turmeric. I have grinded with little water, and this is how it will look. Now this will be the base of the paper which you will be making later. This is a ready paper, but this is not a ready paper. This is the base. Because why it is not a ready paper? Because we have not added Fevicol to this. Once you add the Fevicol, it will be ready to use. If you can see, this has got little smudged up because the liquid was little too watery. Okay, so okay, now for this only, either you can leave it like this, or I will be working on this wet liquid only. Please use a thick sheet, like I am using 250 GSM paper. That is the thickness of the paper, so it is advisable to use that paper. Okay, now for this I will take some leaves. These are the leaves I have, so you can just cut randomly like this and put it on your paper. If you find it little watery, always take the tissue, wipe it off. Too much watery we don't need. Okay, so quickly we will finish. Okay, now this is done. If you want, you can add some leaves to it. These are my dried flower collection. So I have got some leaves, some rose petals I have. How to dry the flowers, that I have already explained in my previous videos. You can go back and check that and make your own papers for your craft, for your birthday greetings, for your wishing your lovely friends, like how I do and how I did yesterday. So this is done, and lastly I will be adding some green tea leaves. These are the leaves I have preserved from the green tea which we have already used. You can always keep it in the sun or under the fan and leave it for drying. Okay, so just spread it all over. Okay, and then we will cover this with, wait, okay, we will cover this with some tissue. I have taken a very simple plain tissue like this. As the turmeric is wet, it will stick to it. Just press it lightly. Okay. Now, once it is done, take your Fevicol and spread on it. But this time you don't have to go in a normal painting strokes. Just go up and down, up and down. Otherwise, it will tear off. Usually I do this with a standing brush. Okay. Now you must be thinking, though I have not got any okay, what we will do is we will just spread this little Fevicol on this, because when I'm using the same brush and I'm dipping in the Fevicol, it's my Fevicol is turning into yellow color, so I don't want the whole Fevicol to turn into yellow color. Okay, now you all must be thinking, whoever is watching or whoever will watch later on, why did I place the tissue on top? Okay, let me tell you. The reason behind putting the tissue on the top and then doing this is, whatever botanical things, leaves, uh, flower petals, green tea, whatever you have spread no, on the paper, that will fall off once it dries. Okay, so to avoid that falling of my botanical ingredients, I have added this tissue. All right, this tissue is going to hold them once they dry. So this is how you have to spread all over, from the corners also spread it on the paper, no problem. Later on you can cut it off. It's better it sticks to the paper because it will not fly otherwise. Okay, and this dries within an hour. Doesn't take much time. That depends on your Fevicol dilution, how much you have done. If it is very thin, पतला घोल बनाया आपने, तो डेफिनेटली वो चिपकेगा भी नहीं और जल्दी भी सूख जाएगा. ओके, तो ये आपने देखा इतना ब्यूटीफुल कलर, क्योंकि ये नेचुरल कलर है इसलिए इसने अपने आप ही, इट हैज़ automatically shown the shades. It's not been distributed evenly. Somewhere it is dark, somewhere it is light. If you can see properly, let me zoom and show you. See, can you see the beautiful color? This is the joy of doing with natural colors. Don't worry about the light shade of the botanical things, you can see. It will be seen completely once. Once the paper dries and Fevicol also dries. We all know that Fevicol becomes transparent after drying, and so is the tissue. It will just give a very light shade of tissue, and rest it will become transparent. Okay, now see, this is the whole procedure you have to do. Now we will just close everything and go back with the projects which has already dried, and I will remove this very carefully and keep it for drying. Just take the whole paper and remove. Alright, so let me show you the one which I made in the morning. This is some glitter which I had used in the morning. You can use gel medium on top of this to make it more safe from water, but as we have already used Fevicol, it will stay safe. Okay, so this is the one. Then this is the second one. See, after drying, you can always cut the paper, or otherwise you can put the scissor inside and simply this is the Fevicol, sorry, the coffee. This is a coffee shade. Okay, so just cut it from the side. It is easier to cut and then remove. Okay, and from all the sides. I'll just show you how to do it. Okay, this is done. Now you can see the back side. Just remove the paper. Simply remove the paper. Done. Alright, now from the sides you can do the finishing. Cutting like this, or whichever way you want. Okay, so this paper is ready. This is a very beautiful paper. I can still see somewhere few white tissue which is it has not been there is, because there is bubble inside, so it has not it's not stuck properly. So for that, again you can use your Fevicol mixture like this and simply go back again like this. It is a very refreshing technique. I just love making handmade papers because you don't have to sit for a long. After sticking this, just leave it. You hardly need 10 to 15 minutes, and after that you have to leave it for drying. If this technique is little difficult for you, then you can always try this technique. This is easier. Just make the paste and spread it all over. Then this is the third technique I want to show. If you can see the polka dots, I have taken the decorative what do you call it, tissue for this technique. You can also spread some thread like how I've done here. Some thread, some green tea, some green leaves, like that. Whatever thread you have. So this is also, it's come out so well. You can cut out the extra tissue from the sides. Okay, and the paper is ready. So as I have a nice cutter which can evenly cut the paper into half, you can do it with your scissor. There's no problem with that. This isn't enough. So I will be using it to make beautiful cards, bookmarks also you can make, whatever you want, like that. So this paper is ready, and so is this one. This is also ready. You can use it as you want. And let me tell you, in this paper, you can see some different colors, right? This is the inner portion of the tissue. Like, see, you have this tissue, right? So it has got three plies. One I have already removed, and the second one is this, and this is the third one, the printed one. The paper just next to this will have some designs, some ink in it. So that I have pasted on this. That is why you can see everywhere. Okay. So my session is over, and I hope you have enjoyed, and those who have not been here, they can always go back and see, as it is going to be on my channel, and hope to see you again. I want to make so many papers now. Let me show you some hand painted papers also before I leave. These are my hand painted. See, after applying the gel medium, the color has changed. It was like this, and then it became like this. That is why I just thought of adding Fevicol instead of gel medium. That medium changes the color. This is watercolor, random. This is also watercolor, stencil art. This is freehand, random painting. This is also stenciling and some freehand. This is complete stencils, freehand. This is rubber stamp with coffee painting. This is turmeric painting with rubber stamps. This is not freehand. This is freehand. I just randomly made the flowers. I don't even remember how I made it. And these are stamps. Okay. This is also stamp. This is rubber stamp, and I have just filled the colors. Okay. So please do make your papers and share it with me. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Stay tuned for this video. I will be uploading it today.